So welcome back. We are back in base now after a while, and today I decided to share a good story about some bicycle components, which is in here. We can see it's a 3-axle system, hub system for mountain bike. And recently, when we were at the races this season, because the season now it's getting over, we've been in downhill races, and we were assisting some downhill team with our assistants, and a strange failure happened on their racing bike. I mean, in one of the racing bikes, and the one who should provide spare parts, it was about the rear triangle of the downhill bike. They said they cannot deliver it before 5 days, and of course the guy needed immediately the bike for training and for setting the bike for the track. And in the meantime, the manager said that immediately we need to find some solution that he can use the spare bike, which was a downhill bike as well, but older version, but it didn't have the 3-axle system. And the guy said, I want this wheel set to be on that bike. On the front there is no problem, because the front fork had the 3-axle system. In the rear there was a problem, because it was a quick release system. So the idea that I'm going to show you was created already maybe a month or 2 months ago in our facility, but we were having a huge challenge to make it happen on the field, because you can imagine you don't have a homeland tools where you can machine something. You need to use the standard equipment. We have some parts which are not specifically for the bicycles, but they're used for any kind of construction part. So what we had to do, because that bike had 135 the width, we had to shorten the 3-axle, I mean the hollow axle on from 142 to 135. Of course, the manager said, oh, don't do it, because later we will not be able to use this system back on the original bike. And I said, no, that's not a problem, because the spacer that we took off will be redesigned, and then it will come, it's about 5 mil, will come on the same spot like in here, but it will be guided on the outer axle diameter and with the 3-axle system, which is originally in the hub. So what we did, of course, we had to make a brainstorming task. So we decided to take the spindle, which is M12 metric threaded axle. We push it in, and on this side where you have the spacers, these spacers are just for the showcase, because we don't have in here the particular ones, need to be thinner. And you see what is the point, because on the 3-axle, on the quick release system, you have 10 mil of the axle, so this is 12, and in here we had to grind this square, which will then fit inside the dropout of quick release rear triangle. We placed this system inside the bike, tightened, put a little bit Loctite on the thread, and the system was built in at least 15 minutes. So why we're exposing this kind of thing is because we will start to producing converting kit if you have a road bike, because there's a lot of customers who's got old mountain bikes and old trekking bikes, and they have our newest versions of road bikes. So those road bikes tend to use disc brakes. And many people already were asking us if they could use their road bike wheel sets on their mountain bikes, because it's useless. They need to buy a new wheel set, or you need to always change up and down the tires. So we will make the system which will look like this. So in order to do that, perhaps we will include in this conversion kit not only the axle, which will be machined, because this was the showcase only, and the axle, which will be 135. Or you could shorten the axle on the hub and just use the special spacer, which would be also just a part of the converting kit. The story is interesting because the sponsors who were sponsoring the team didn't have a spare original bike. They had a spare downhill bike, but with a different components. So to me personally, I asked the manager and I said, okay, so does those people even think about it if the original bike, the race bike, something gets seriously wrong and they're in the middle of the race, how they can change the bike immediately without any considerations and continue racing? And they said, yeah, we have a little bit gray zone about it, so we're happy we have people like you in our team as assistants, because we know that you always find a solution. So the solution, this was more luck than knowledge, we do admit, because the idea was born months before we actually needed to be taken or made at the field. And that's how you can convert basically any kind of 3-axle system using on your quick release frame. Hopefully this clip was useful for you, and we'll see you around soon. If we will have more time, then we'll make more movies. Cheers. Bye.